Hey everyone, Brian here, Castle Hives, Northeast Ohio Beekeeping. We're in the apiary. We got a lot of work to do today. Okay everybody, so what we have to start doing here at Castle Hives is getting ready and set up to use the vape gun. Now what I have to do here is I got a drill, and I'm going to drill on the back side. I have golf tees that I'm going to use to plug those holes when I'm not using them. So drilling that hole is going to allow me that when I have my vape gun, I can insert, you know, that nozzle into the hole, twist it, give a couple taps, and I'm on the back side of the hive, so I'm not disturbing the girls in the front. So very easy. With this vape gun here that I have, it should take me roughly about a minute or so to treat each hive, so I should be able to go through the entire apiary in under like 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do also, and this is going to be a couple part series when I do this, I have a mite wash here, and I'm going to check the mite load in a couple of the hives. I'm going to check my horizontal, I'm going to check the main, and I'm going to check fireball just to see where those mite loads are. And then after all of the treatments, I'm going to do another mite wash just to see how effective the treatments were. So it'll be about 3 weeks, but look for that video to come out in 3 weeks. So you can't see all that today. It's going to happen over the next 3 weeks. So, but we're going to get in and do some inspections. I want to check Bee Castle here. I'm going to check the now 10 frame hive there. I want to check that paper combine, just get a little bit of work. It's a lot of work going on this time of year in an apiary. So let's get suited up here and get into Bee Castle. And I'm going to wear a jacket because the girls are a little testy. We're hitting that dearth, and the girls want to protect what they have already stored up. And what a dearth is, in case you don't know, that's when your nectar flow more or less, you know, goes down to a bare minimum. And the girls get very protective of what they have in the hives. So let's get suited up here, and I'm going to get into the Bee Castle just to check that, and let's get this work started here today. All right, everybody, we're going to get into Bee Castle just to check and see how it's doing. Oh, wow. Look at the girls right there. Nice. I like seeing a good population. Okay. So I can see, looking in here, we have bees from here to now they're out working this frame here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.5 frames this colony now is working. So let's get in here, just do a quick little check, and I gotta judge. Let me drive them down some. Some people I know don't use all that smoke. I'll just drive them down, that way I can get a good look here. But what I want to do also is right straight about this point here under the E, I need to drill a hole in this hive, that way I can do my vape treatments on it. So let's get one of these outer frames out. Now I will say this, I have a jacket on because we're expecting rain today, and we are also heading into a dearth where the nectar flow is slowing up. The girls get a little bit you know, more testy in the dearth, so that's why I have a jacket. Plus I'm going to be drilling a hole in the back of the hive, and I'm sure the girls are not going to like that. It's a good nectar frame there. So we should be getting into brood right here. And that's what I wanted to see. Okay, so my queen is on this frame. And she is right there. Looks good. Looks good. So I'm happy with where the bee castle is at right now. So that's that. This hive is set up for the treatments. Let's close it up. I'm very happy with how this split is doing so far. Nice calm bees. I probably will end up putting a feeder on them here shortly as well. I'm going to use the bucket feeder that I got from Greg, Nature's Image. So this hive's doing good. Let's move on over to this. Now, I got to find a new name for this hive, but this is going to be the bee box once I move it. So I'll probably just call that the bee box hive. So let's get on over there and see how this paper combine worked out. Okay, everybody. So I'm suited up for this one here. And I apologize. Everything's wet. As soon as I was going to get into this hive, Mother Nature opened up. So that's beekeeping. So let's see what we find in this combine. Now what I did was shifted everything around in this hive, and I put a piece of paper in between the brood boxes so that, there we go, some kind of beetle, so that by the time they would get through the paper thinking that they would fight, they get accustomed to each other. So it's basically a paper combine is all. So, and the last time when I worked this hive, they were super feisty. So, wow. Let me give them some smoke here. All right, drove them down a little bit. And the purpose of this here is just to see if the combine took. And I also am getting ready to treat. So frames like this that are capped out, I'm probably going to pull this super and set that right there. And extract this. Wow. Yeah, that's almost all capped. So I'm going to go through this just to check these other frames. And the girls, yeah, this last time, and I expect them, the reason why I have my jacket on is it just rained. We are entering into a dearth. And a dearth is where, like I said earlier, that's when there's not much nectar out there. So the girls get protective, yeah, on what they have. That one also. Let's get over here, check this one. I'm just going quick because we have more coming. All right. So, frames that aren't all the way built out, I'm going to leave for them to work on. Let them, yeah. Okay, so those over there, they have to work on. Ones with honey, nectar, I'm gonna pull. Okay, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a nuke box, that way I can put some of these frames in and bring some empties out. So I'll be right back. All right, so all that I'm gonna do here is pull frames that are most of the way capped out and let the girls work on these others. So I don't want frames with any nectar on them in these supers when I do my oxalic treatments. So we're going to give the girls some room because I just combined this colony out, and I'm also making room for when I do my treatments. So I'm gonna pull these real quick, put in empties, and get this super off. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this super off. The girls are getting testy. It's just, we're in a dearth. It just rained. It happens. So, lucky I have this full suit though. Now, what I wanna see here is eggs. You know, when I have this full suit on, well, one, it's harder to grip the frames, but you can work a little faster. So that's a nectar frame. That's gonna go right there. And then I'm just gonna go across here and check these frames out. So I'm gonna go through this top box here real quick, and we'll see what the frames show me. Eggs on this frame here. So that's good. When I did the combine, there were not any eggs in the cells that were in the upper portion. Okay, so all that I'm gonna do now, girls are worked up, is pull this off, trim this little bit of paper off, and then put it back together, and I'm gonna turn this colony a little bit. That way I can eventually get the entrance so it's facing that way. That's all I got to do for this one. Put it there. Top back on it, and that's it. This hive is letting me know they don't want messed with today. So I'm going to throw that little bit of paper there, and then I'm going to turn this hive. So it will eventually get shifted into the bee box, the poly hive, and the entrance will be facing that way. So let me do that real quick. Okay, so you see I have this hive turned. Now the bees are going to orient to this spot here. About 1.5 feet away is the entrance right there. So that's fine, they'll eventually reorient. But let's move on to main castle hive just to check it. I'm gonna pull those supers off and do the same thing. If there's any frames that are capped, they're coming off, and I'm getting ready for my mite treatments. Okay, everybody, gonna get in and check on main castle, combine down these supers, and it's getting prepped and ready for mite treatment. Okay, looking at this super, there's still some empties in it. So I'm gonna leave this on and just give them something to do while I combine this down. And the next 3 weeks will be the mite treatment for main castle. So let me pull this off real quick, just to check on the brood. Yeah, this box here is light. I'm gonna check on the brood here real quick, and look at that. Couple beetles. Them buggers. There's another one. Got it. Got it. So let's check real quick how the brood chamber looks. Good brood pattern there. Good brood pattern here. Excellent brood frame. All right, so I'm going to get main castle back together, and we're going to move on to the fireball hive. I just am going to peek at one more frame, but we're going to peek in on fireball then and see how those supers are doing, and pull the supers on there as well. All right, y'all, let's move on to fireball. I'll go ahead and get main castle back together, and let's move on over there. Okay, y'all, we're gonna get into fireball hive now and condense this down. No frames in the supers that have nectar on them will stay. Getting ready for, oh wow, look at that. Well, we're gonna set that right there. Getting ready to do my mite treatment, so just want to check and see how these look. One beetle there, a beetle there. Them small hive beetles, I tell you, they're a nuisance. Now, what I remember doing here is checkerboarding some frames. So I'm gonna check and see the frames that have nectar, and they're coming off. Regulations state that when you do oxalic acid treatment, you're not allowed to do it with supers on. This frame is almost capped. So I'm gonna go through these supers and combine it down, and then we're gonna look in this top brood box real quick. So let me get these supers done here real fast. Okay, y'all. We're gonna take this super off now and just take a look at the top brood box real quick. This super's light. That's some good brood on that frame there. right, Fireball's looking good, and I apologize for the girls today, honest I do. I'm gonna go ahead and get it back together, and we're gonna check on this resource hive here, this double nuke. So let me get this all packed back together, and let's move on over here. That way we can let the girls just chill out. So let's move over there.